the gig? Did you think of the gig tonight here in Kilkenny?
I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. People say I enjoy it. Yeah, that's all that matters, isn't it?
What did you think of it?
I thought it was very nice.
And you played here last year. What did you think of the gig then? You only did one gig in Ireland then. What did you think of it?
Dublin. Yeah, that was good. I mean, we must have liked it because we came back, didn't we? Yeah, that was good. But I mean, we've changed a bit since then.
How do you mean you've changed?
Well, got a few more numbers, haven't we? You know, new stuff, new material, as we say.
What does playing live mean to you as a band?
Well, quite a lot, really. You know, playing live, it's part of the process, isn't it? Playing live, making records, they're all part of the same thing. I think I prefer playing live to sort of you know, you make a record and that's it, you can't change it. And you know, you listen to it and you think, oh, I could have done that better. But when you're playing live, you can't do anything about it anyway, so you just got to enjoy it.
Yeah, do you feel it's an important part that the audience should enjoy themselves along with yourselves?
You better ask the audience that. I don't know, that's up to the audience, isn't it? I mean, some people might think it's, you know, not like it at all. People might like it.
Do you think that the kind of rap with the audience that you have is important? I mean, you showed a lot of humour tonight, which the press in Britain don't give you credit for. They say, well, they just walk on and say nothing. Do you think that's important?
Humour, yeah. Well, I think that's the problem. Our sense of humour's long been misunderstood. Press in Britain maybe haven't got any sense of humour. Maybe that's the answer. Next question.
Right, yeah, do you think the humour of that is important on stage?
Not every time you play, no. It's just what you feel like doing at the time. We don't incorporate it as an act.
Yeah, just the way it happens.
Yeah.
Steve, if I can go back, why did you decide way back in 76, 77 to form Warsaw and then Joy Division? What was the idea behind it?
What was the idea? That's a good question, actually. As I seem to recall, there was no idea behind it at all. Like, what do you mean, it's a sort of guiding force? Well,
Yeah.
you just wanted to be in a band, yeah. That was it.
It wasn't anything, a rebellion against I mean, you were totally different to what was going on then. I mean, you weren't...
Being in a band's sort of a minor act of rebellion, isn't it?
I meant a rebellion against the scene then, the 77 scene with the Pistols. I mean, you were totally different towards the Pistols.
Yeah, that was part of it. It was part of that scene. It just happened that we were a bit different. Yeah, if it hadn't been seeing the Pistols and that sort of scene, probably wouldn't have happened at all. It was that sort of motivation that anybody can get up on a stage and make a fool of themselves. So I think not really been partial to making fools of themselves before. Tend to sort of get on with it. But yeah, it was part of that thing. It wasn't a reaction against it by any means.
And when around that stage did Factory Records start? Can you tell me a bit about them?
Factory Records. When did Factory Records start? 70 or what? Rob, when did Factory Records start? 78, yeah. Yeah, and we did the Factory Sample, the double single thing, which is like initially sort of a one-off, but then we did Unknown Flashes.
And what was the idea behind the company? I mean, there's a company here, Mulligan Records, and their idea is that they don't really want to make money, they just want to record people who are good. Was Factory the same? I mean, they don't advertise still, so they obviously weren't in it for the money. What was the idea behind the company?
Well, you'd really have to ask the company that, if you could find them. They're pretty hard to track down. It's one of those invisible companies. It's not actually sort of very loose. Very, 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 very loose. I suppose there's no ideas. It's, you know, well, there's ideas, but...
There was nothing like, say, Mulligan. How do you account for the success of not only just New Order and before them Joy Division, but everything on Factory Records because they don't advertise?
Now then, that's a good one. That. Now you say success, but I mean not every record.
Not superficial success, but I mean the real success that you have.
Look, what we've got, I mean, yeah, but I mean that's not saying that anything on Factory it's got to be a success, because there's lots of records on Factory that sort of nobody really notices, and like Hard to Be an Egg, John Dowie, and things like that sort of miss most people. But I mean that's just a way of life. It's just luck, really. The fact that
Do you think, as New Order, that you're opening up doors for people on Factory? Because some people might say, well, it's on Factory, it must be good. Like a certain ratio, or we're a band that the last couple of years followed on after you with success on the same label.
Not really. I mean, the attitude that something that's on the same label as a band that you like must be good causes a lot of conflicts, really, because, like, you know, people who might like us, you know, like, they've got different tastes. I mean, a certain ratio might not appeal to them, so really I think it's wrong to think that a label's whole catalogue would appeal to one particular type of person. We're not aiming for one sort of audience. You know, Factory aren't aiming for one particular sort of audience. It would be wrong for a company to try and do that, because there's lots of different bands, different styles of music, and it's more interesting to do lots of different styles of music than just do one.
Now, if I can come to Blue Monday, and in particular the BBC and Top of the Pops, you mentioned that we were talking about the music press, so maybe it isn't actually the truth, or is it the truth? What actually happened between yourselves and the BBC over Blue Monday?
Well, they just let us play it live instead of miming. They'd never let us play it live before.
And what did they say to that when you said that you wanted to do it live?
They just said okay.
Well, again, the press said that you had said we want to do it live, and the BBC had said no.
Oh yeah, you said it before that you wouldn't let us play live with Temptation, but then with this one they let us play live.
Do you think it's important to do that? I mean, not mime on Top of the Pops. I mean, what's your feelings about, say, Top of the Pops in general, the whole syndrome around it, Duran Duran and all that kind of thing?
Well, if they want to mime, they can mime, really. I mean, if they don't want to play it. But it's,
Unfortunately, Top of the Pops is sort of become an institution, if you like. It's sort of the show you'll love to hate, but you still watch it just in case there's something good on it. Yeah, well, we just, I've never said that no, we won't do Top of the Pops under any circumstances. It's quite simple. Just said, no, do Top of the Pops. We want to do it live, because I mean, probably terrible at miming or something. And also, I don't believe that miming is very good, because I think you're cheating people in a way, because you know you're pretending to be doing something that you're not actually doing. You know, you can't. It's showbiz basically. I don't like the showbiz aspects of the programme. Showbiz in general, actually. Yeah,
showbiz in general. What do you think of the whole music business? I mean, is the again an image that you're probably dubbed with by the press? Is this all rebellion against show business?
Not really. I mean, well, the press are bound to sort of do that, because they're part of the showbiz machinery, aren't they? They're part of the cogs and things that keep the whole thing moving, so you might get a bit of flack from them. No, I try and avoid the music business and all that it entails. I don't have no interest in it. I've never really wanted to be part of what is sort of a mini establishment with an establishment of its own sort of.
Do you think that what you just said is helped by the fact that you design the covers yourselves and things like that?
Well, the fact that we have a say in, we'd be better off designing the covers ourselves, certainly. No, so if you're on a major record company, i.e. if you were part of what I just said, the establishment, you wouldn't have that choice, and I personally would find that a bit frustrating, because you haven't got that sort of freedom. Really, that's what I like about Thatcher, the fact that we can do what we want, basically, and with another label that'd be very difficult, because we're temperamental people.
Now, getting back to Blue Monday, do you think that's the best thing you've done since you started?
Till the next best thing that we do. I mean, I don't think of songs in terms of this is the best thing that we're going to do. I think it's very dangerous to think like that.
What I was getting at was, were you annoyed or disappointed? Obviously disappointed, but maybe annoyed the fact that things like Ceremony, Temptation and Everything Turns Green didn't get the success they should have? Everything's gone green.
No, not really. I mean, it depends what you mean by success. That was like the best that we could have done under circumstances, and I suppose that was the best sort of the year. But I mean, you're talking in terms of chart success, aren't you? I mean, is that what, do you mean, if you mean in the charts?
Do you think film was successful?
No, I meant, I suppose, financially wise. I mean, you...
Certainly, so there was money in
Yeah.
And why did it not get put into the charts then?
That's the people who are doing the charts.
Are they rigged? I mean, there's been stories heard over here. Are they actually rigged?
But no. Well, again, you see, the charts are another part of this machine called the music business. And if you try to avoid the music business, you must, accept certain penalties. And one of these is sort of not comparing very favourably with people who play the ball game. If you don't play the ball game, you can't expect to do as well out of it as people who do and make a living out of just doing nothing else. But
So you would obviously, as a band, much prefer to have the real kind of success rather than the dollars coming in and chart success.
Dollars coming in. Well, I don't mind the dollars coming in. You can come in my way anytime. No, but you see, success on its own terms, artistic success and all that sort of shit. Radio program. Yeah, but chart success doesn't necessarily equate with financial success. You can still sell a lot of records and not get in the charts. So really, why bother with the charts? I'm perfectly happy. If Blue Monday hadn't got in the charts, I'd still, be happy with Blue Monday. Maybe you wouldn't be here now, but I'd still be the same.
I'd be here now anyway. I don't see you as a chart band or anything like that. You wouldn't be into re-releasing any of the older stuff, so.
No, the other stuff's still available. I mean, it might be difficult to get hold of at the moment, but I mean, it's still available as such. As far as sort of the idea of re-releasing stuff and re-promoting stuff, that again
is all part of the music business, which you don't want to get into. Do you feel that New Order as a band are continuing on where Joy Division left off?
where Joy Division left off? It's the same thing, but I mean, it doesn't mean to say that if Joy Division had continued, it'd be the same as New Order. You can't say that. It's an extension, but unfortunately there was a little bit of a rewind in there somewhere. You sort of had to go back to the beginning, start all over again. But you'd already gone through a certain amount of the learning process, so it wasn't as difficult. It's still pretty difficult, but in answer to your question, yeah, I said it probably can't continue. The whole thing is a chain.
Now, you have a new album out soon called Power, Corruption and Lies. I believe that's the title. What's it going to be like?
What's it going to be like? Yeah, with hole in the middle.
What's the material going to be like on it? Have you performed any of that tonight?
Yeah, we did a couple from the album. Yeah, Village and that's all we did from the album. Oh, we all band, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've forgotten what's on it. 3 from the album, yes.
And how is it going to continue on? How do you feel it's a progression from the last one, from Movement? Is it going to be different and yet still New Order, and the kind of bull that people go on with about bands that they have to progress but still have the same sound and all that? Is it going to do that?
I should think so, yes. Because it wouldn't be us doing it, would it? It was going to be different.
Now, I remember an interview you did on radio last year, and one of the members of the band said something about videos.
Not brought it with us actually. You could watch it
on the radio as well. Are you going to get into videos?
Yeah, we dabble. Perhaps, who knows? It's finding the time and sort of the right sort of ideas. I mean, I want to do a video maybe for the next single or something like that. But it's just a question of time, really, to do something like that. It requires a lot of thought, money, and general sort of involvement. Michael Jackson spending a fortune on it. God, I can't see us doing that, but yeah, it's something that interests me personally. Video as a creative medium, if you like, an extension of music, pictures, not particularly television, because I think television is a bit like newspapers and journalism, comedy programmes maybe. I'd like to do something different to what people do with video. I don't know what exactly. Ask me in a few years.
Now, if you could, I know it's something you may not probably want to talk about, or not. Maybe not that you don't want to talk about it, but you might be reluctant to discuss it. But what would be the idea behind the music of New Order?
Well, there you go again. Ideas. There aren't any ideas. There's no sort of overpowering messages. No, you just sit down and write a tune. We all sit down and jam and write a tune, and that's the idea. It's just songs, really, music. There isn't. Well, I mean, there may be a spiritual message in the music to some people, to the listener, but there's certainly no idea of putting any particular point of view across in the construction of the work.
And what do you think of people who analyse the music and say it has this and that in it?
Yeah, because they're just splitting it up bit by bit. They're just taking the music away from the lyrics, which isn't very fair, just analysing the lyrics, what they mean.
Out of context.
Yeah. Because it's all just as important as each other, the music and the lyrics. Really.
What do you think of people who've dubbed you for some strange reason with this fascist image because of the names Joy Division and New Order, and because supposedly of the clothes you used to wear as Warsaw and Joy Division?
Well, what can I say? Yeah, really fascist, yeah. I don't know, you got to hang a label on something, if you want to be nasty, that's a pretty good label to hang on somebody. Personally, I think it's very childish. I've no interest in fascism or politics, anything like that. But I mean, if somebody wants to call you a fascist, well, they don't even know me, so, okay, fair enough. I'm fascist. Yeah. I'm not, but why should I sort of go around cudgeling people calling me a fascist, because that's just what they want, People, I don't believe in people who've got strong convictions about anything. I believe that you need, insane convictions to be a fascist, and, equally to the other extreme,
You don't think much of the press and the people in Britain who say that about you?
Not really, but it's a bit of a joke, isn't it? It's not really, fascism isn't a joke, but, somebody say, calling us that, and I know what people are like. They don't know, so fair enough, and it's just people who read it and believe it, really. I'm sure the press don't realise the amount of damage it's possible to do. Fortunately, people you don't intelligent,
You don't think it's important, so, to say that if you felt strongly about, maybe you could say they're cliched, but the CND and things like that you want to get them across to people, and anti-drugs or whatever?
Yes, yeah, right. I believe that.
Pass the joint over here, thank you.
Okay, Patrick. I believe people to be reasonably intelligent and capable of making their own minds up about something like that. I mean, CND, things like that, stating cases which are fairly obvious to me, and I don't see the point of ramming something like that down somebody's throats. I think you're taking somebody to be really stupid. It's like, this is wrong and this is right. I think a lot of people, if you explain the case to them, will be able to reason it out for themselves. What do you say on that, Julian?
Yeah, about the CND and things like that.
Well, if they want to think about things like that, they can do, but I don't believe in putting strong messages to people saying you must do this or you must do that. But if,
that is.
yeah.
Now, Bernard said earlier on that you're basically misunderstood. Do you feel that that New Order's music just should be taken at face value, You think the music should be taken as, at just face value, and no heavy, deep spiritual meanings behind it, and just enjoy it for what it is, good music?
Well, you can do whatever you like if you see some deep, meaningful thing in it. I mean, you can do, but on the other hand, it's just,
How do you see the band moving in the future?
a bit like that. Whatever will be, really. We haven't got any sort of future planned out for it. We haven't got any goals or anything like that. We just want to carry on doing what we like doing.
Gillian, Steve, New Order, thanks very much.